On the night of March 3, 1966, William Frawley, beloved as the grumpy Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy, collapsed on Hollywood Boulevard and passed away from a heart attack. Across town, Vivian Vance, his former co-star and longtime nemesis, was dining with friends when the news reached her. With a smile and a toast, she raised her glass and declared, "Champagne for everyone." It was a shocking reaction, even for those familiar with their infamous feud. But why did their hatred run so deep? And what does their story reveal about the true dynamics behind one of television's most iconic duos? When you think about I Love Lucy, you probably remember the hilarious antics of Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. But there's no denying the magic of Fred and Ethel Mertz, their landlords and closest friends. Fred, played by William Frawley, and Ethel, brought to life by Vivian Vance, were central to the show's success. They bickered like an old married couple and had a knack for making us laugh, sometimes more than Lucy and Ricky themselves. But off-screen, things weren't so rosy. In fact, William Frawley and Vivian Vance couldn't stand each other. To understand why, you've got to go back to where it all started, long before the bright lights of TV. Let's begin with William Frawley. He was born in 1887, so by the time he showed up on I Love Lucy, he was already 64 years old and had a lifetime of experience under his belt. Frawley started performing in vaudeville, the old-time variety shows that featured everything from comedy to song and dance numbers. He had a knack for making people laugh, and he loved the stage. By the 1920s, he was on Broadway, taking roles in big productions like Mary Mary. He even ventured into drama in the 1930s with 20th Century, proving he was more than just a funny guy. Hollywood came calling soon after. Frawley appeared in a few silent films in 1916, but he didn't pursue a movie career seriously until the 1930s. Once he did, he found steady work as a character actor. If you've ever seen Miracle on 34th Street, you might remember him as Judge Harper's political advisor. That was Frawley, bringing his gruff charm to the screen. Over the years, he showed up in all kinds of films, comedies, dramas, musicals, even westerns. He had a gift for playing no-nonsense characters, whether it was a baseball manager in Alibi Ike or an insurance investigator in My Home in San Antone. But by 1951, Hollywood wasn't calling as much. Frawley had been in over 100 films, but work was drying up. Then came a lifeline, I Love Lucy. When Frawley heard that Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball were casting for a new sitcom, he jumped at the chance to play Fred Mertz, the cantankerous landlord. He called Lucille Ball directly, a bold move for someone she barely knew, and asked for the part. Ball and Arnaz thought he was perfect, but CBS wasn't so sure. Frawley had a reputation for heavy drinking and being a bit unreliable. Arnaz gave him an ultimatum. One screw-up, and he was out. Surprisingly, Frawley rose to the occasion. He never showed up drunk, learned his lines quickly, and became one of the most dependable cast members. Now let's talk about Vivian Vance, the woman who would become his on-screen wife and his off-screen nemesis. Born in 1909, Vance was 22 years younger than Frawley, and her path to stardom was different. She started in Broadway chorus lines in the 1930s, working her way up to supporting roles. One of her big breaks came when she understudied the legendary Ethel Merman in Anything Goes.